So a few years ago, I was traveling to do a mission trip and I was going to Haiti, and this was in 2019, and this was my first ever mission trip. But I was super pumped because I just was so excited to love on the orphans, love on the little kids. That's my heart. So I was just so pumped to go. And I'll never forget the first few days that we were there. We went and visited an orphanage. And not only was it an orphanage, but it was actually an abandoned orphanage. And there was a handful of young kids, anywhere from 8 to 18, that were stuck in this abandoned orphanage. And there was really no one there to care for them. There were some people that were helping out, bringing food when they were able to, but there wasn't a lot going on for these kids. And so as a part of the mission trip, we actually went and we spent a day with them. And we brought so many games and we brought everything that we felt like the kids would enjoy and love to do. And I remember when I first walked in, I was immediately drawn to this girl, and she was so sweet, and she was about 13 or 14 at the time. And I remember sitting down with her, and I had cards in my hand, and I remember asking her, hey, let's play a card game. And everyone else was also playing with the kids, and they were playing different games. And I remember sitting there for a few minutes, and we started to play. And then after maybe a few minutes, she took my hand and she pulled me away from the card game, and she brought me out into this little dirt courtyard, and we sat down together, and it was just me and her. And all she did, we didn't speak the same language, but I knew by just her actions, she grabbed my arm and she placed my arm around her, and she just put her head on my shoulder. And I just embraced her and I just held her. And after a few minutes, I looked down and I saw tears running down her face. And I started weeping. And that was a marking moment for me. And I remember in that moment, the Lord just speaking to my heart, reminding me that His love is the best love that we could ever encounter. And in that moment, I was able to share the love of Jesus with her by just embracing her and holding her and just loving her, right? With no words. There was no words needed. We did not speak the same language, but just sharing the love of Christ with her caused her to just weep. And I remember walking away from that experience, and I remember being like, wow, God, your love is enough. A lot of times we're as humans, we just want to be loved, right? And we just want to know that we're loved and that we are chosen and that we are accepted. And from Babisa's story, I just remember in that moment being like, wow, Lord, all we need is your love. From that point on, I remember being even more passionate about just sharing the love of Jesus with those around me. And there's a story in the Bible where it's in Matthew chapter 8, and it's verses 1 through 11. So if you want to go there, he is actually speaking to a woman who was caught in adultery. And the religious leaders, so those who were very religious and following all the rules, they came to Jesus and brought the woman and said, Jesus, the law says that any woman who is caught in adultery should be stoned. So what are you, Jesus, gonna do? And Jesus looked down, he knelt down, and he came close to the woman, and long story short, he ended up saying to the religious leaders that if you have not sinned, then you cast a stone. And they all walked away because they were like, oh my gosh, we have all sinned. And so Jesus was showing us his nature, that he is a God of love, and he is not a God that condemns, but he is a God that cleans us up, helps to heal us and make us whole so that we can look more and more like him every day. And so he looked at the woman and he said, I will not condemn you. Go and sin no more. So we can see the love of Christ through this Bible story, and we can understand that the love of Jesus is so wide and so long and so deep, and it's healing. And it says in Psalm 147, it says that Jesus, he heals the brokenhearted and he binds up their wounds. And so a part of God's character is that he is a loving God, that he actually has come to heal us and to set us free and to make us whole. He does not condemn us when we fall short and when we make mistakes, but he comes around us and he shows us the way in which we should walk, and he teaches us and he heals us with his love. I grew up in a home where I always thought that Jesus did not care about my heart, that he was not a loving God, that he was a very distant God, and it was all about rules. And I just believed that he was not loving and he did not care. But through my experiences and encountering the presence of God and his love, and walking with him hand in hand, I've seen that lie that I believed as a kid it's such a lie. It's so far from the truth. Jesus loves us, and you can see it in his word, and he cares about our hearts. Oftentimes, it's so easy to want to hide all of the things we've gone through, all of the things we've done. We want to hide it and we want to keep it in secret because we feel ashamed or we feel unworthy or we're scared that if we bring it to the light, we're going to be condemned. But as you see in the word, Jesus does not condemn. He actually comes to heal us. And so what I learned from Babisa and going to Haiti was that Babisa knew what love could do. She chose to actually pull me aside, and I don't know what was going on in her heart, but she knew that she needed love. And it was the love of the Father that caused her to weep. And I already know that the Lord was healing her heart in that moment, right? And so she could have chosen to keep all of the emotions inside and just continue to play games and pretend like everything was okay, but she knew that she needed an encounter with love. And Jesus is love, God is love. And so when we bring our brokenness to his feet, he doesn't condemn us, but he heals us and he sets us free so that we can look more and more like him and we can walk in freedom every single day. God, he loves us and he comes to heal us. And so we don't have to hide everything that we've done deep inside. We don't have to be ashamed of it, but we actually can bring it to Jesus. And when we bring it out into the light, that's when we encounter his healing love and complete freedom. And so I would challenge you today to practice that, to sit with the Lord, to find a quiet space and to bring your brokenness to the Lord. There is no condemnation. There is no shame. He is always here with us. He's so near. And when we bring our brokenness to him, he comes in like a flood and he heals us and sets us free. And so I would challenge you for this upcoming week to bring the brokenness to the feet of Jesus and just watch what he will do. Just watch how he will heal you. If you are liking these videos, I would just ask you to please hit like and subscribe. And if you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me, you can just email me at breathoflife@amandafry.com. And the email will be below in the description box. So if you are interested in diving deeper into healing and learning more about Jesus and walking with him, I love to walk with women and help them become healed, whole, and set free in the love of Christ. So email me if you are interested in any one-on-one coaching. And I will see you back here next time. Okay, bye.